There are four kinds of companies using AI right now. Only one of them is actually AI native. Tier 1 lives in ChatGPT. Open a chat, ask, copy the answer out. Tier 2 uses the AI baked into their SaaS. And honestly, that tier is already shrinking. Tier 3 went further, real agent tools, Cloud, Codex, things that do the work, not just chat about it. And then a new one is forming, Tier 4. They own a brain. Here is the uncomfortable part. Doesn't matter if you are tier 1 or tier 3 today, if you don't own a brain, you are not AI native. By the end, you will know what a brain actually is, how your emails and calls and CRM literally becomes one, and how your whole company ends up using it. And notice what tiers 1 through 3 all have in common. Every one of them starts from zero every single time. The chat forgets you by tomorrow. The SaaS AI is generic. It doesn't know your business. Even the best agent tool opens each session a total stranger. So you keep re explaining your own company forever. That's not a small text. That's infinite onboarding. So the real question is, what does tier 4 have that others three don't? One thing, a brain. Now, most people think tier 3 is the finish line. Better tools, smarter agents. It's not, because the tool isn't the moat. The tool is a sticky note. You hand it the perfect instructions, it does one task, and then it forgets who you are. Brilliant and amnesiac. You would never hire a genius and wipe their memory after every meeting. But that's exactly how tier 1, 2, 3 uses AI. So, if the tool is just a sticky note, what's the thing that actually sticks? Let me show you what's inside a brain. A brain isn't a folder where you dump files. That's the part people get wrong. It's an understanding layer. Raw stuff goes in and it gets distilled into clean, cited facts. Distilled, not stored. It's not a second copy of your data, it's the understanding pulled out of it. And here is the part I love: it gets denser the more you use it, stronger, not fatter. A pile of documents gets worse over time, a brain gets better. Underneath, it's just numbered files 00 to 99, and read order is priority order. Andre Karpathy framed it perfectly. Treat the AI's context like RAM and the brain like the disk. You hand it a map and let it pull what it needs. Okay, so how does the understanding actually get in there? This is the part nobody shows you. You connect the tools you already live in: your email, your call notes, Slack, the CRM, each one gets a connector. And a connector's job is dumb on purpose. It just collects the raw stuff and drops it into one inbox. No AI in that step at all. Then one distillation step reads that inbox and writes clean, cited facts into the brain. And each source distills its own way. A sales call becomes facts differently than a CRM row does. You design that recipe once per connector. From that point on, everything your company touches is quietly becoming understanding. So the brain is filling up on its own. Now, the fun part: where do you actually get to use it? This is the part that surprises people. The brain isn't logged inside one app. In Cloud Code or Codex, it just sits there as files and tools. The agent reads it directly. In ChatGPT, you plug the same brain in as an MCP. Same one brain, every tool. Cloud does the research, Codex writes the code, another agent drafts the memo. All of them reading and writing the same memory. And the brain carries its own skills too. Teach it how your company runs a sales call once, and every tool that plugs in already knows. Switch tools next year, the brain travels with you. That's what owning it actually means. And that sets up the real unlock, because so far this is one person's brain. What about everyone else in the company? You host the brain in the cloud and you build one small tool that exposes it to the whole organization. Now, every person and every agent in the company is asking questions against the same understanding. With rules, though, this is where the nuance lives. You decide who can read what, who can write, and what stays sealed. Client work never leaks across teams. And at that scale, it's not one brain anymore: a research brain, a sales brain, a VC brain, and a master brain on top that can reach into all of them. So it's not a memory, it's an organization of memories with a chain of command. Which leaves the last question: how do you actually start one? And who builds one? Three moves to start one. One, you define the ontology, the things in your world and how they connect: deals, accounts, stages for a sales brain. You name those first. Two, you structure it. Those numbered folders, so read order is a priority order. Three, that distillation recipe for every connector you saw earlier. And because every company thinks differently, you don't get this off a template. You need a top executive in the room. The person who knows how the company actually thinks has to shape how the brain thinks. That's the whole shift. You stop renting context one prompt at a time, and you start owning context that compounds. The model underneath is a commodity. It's replaceable. The brain is not. The brain is the company. That's tier 4. That's what AI native actually means. So if your company runs on AI but it forgets you every morning, You are not tier 4 yet, and honestly, nobody is really teaching this part. I am learning it by building. I am building these brains for companies right now, and I will keep showing what works. Subscribe if you want to watch tier 4 get built.